Here's an aerial photograph of the subject parcel and surrounding area. Again, on the left-hand side is Wailoa State Park. On the right-hand side is the Ho'olulu complex with Manono Street running north-south and Piilani Street running east-west through the slide. Currently, the subject parcel is vacant of any improvements, and it is in its vegetated state as indicated in the aerial photograph.
I think that the issues have been, things like, impacts to the neighbors, whether it's traffic or noise, the use of the plastics, the quality of the water due to the proximity of the former KNEP plant, community give back, the applicability of Chapter 343 relating to EA and EISs, the nature of the aquifer, whether it's going to be degraded, whether there's potential cross-contamination, impact to the ocean water. Most of these will be addressed by Ms. Bunn and Mr. Nance, but on some of the other issues, I kind of wanted to make some comments. First, on the area of traffic. In my letter of December 24, I think I mentioned that, based on 100,000 gallon per day extraction, that the estimated truckloads was 2. I was kind of like misinformed on that, and after doing further research, it was closer to like 6 or 10, but 6 or 10 movements at the most, and they probably would occur during the non-peak hours and staggered. So it's not like all 6 coming in or 10 coming in at one time. Relative to the noise issue, we had already suggested that as a proposed condition that the applicant would be willing to accept the condition, and we passed it out. I think the staff passed it out as condition number 8, basically stating that the operation would be limited to the residential noise level. On the matter of plastics, unfortunately, this is something that this one applicant cannot really address. I mean, it's like the whole issue of plastic straws, plastic bags, styrofoam. I mean, there has to be some generalized legislation to ban or modify that. But until that occurs, the applicant can only utilize whatever is there and conform with prevailing laws. However, he's prepared to make a commitment if and when there are biodegradable alternatives, available, then that's what he would intend to use. On the issue of quality of water due to the proximity of the former KNEC plant, Mr. Nance will kind of explain that the well is considerably below sea level, but more critically, we did have a phase 1 environmental study done on the property, which was made part and parcel of the application, and basically the environmental report concluded that there was really not going to have any such an impact. Furthermore, if you're going to have if you're going to sell water, then obviously you have to be subject to the State Department of Health regulations, and they're not going to authorize the sale of any water that's contaminant. In terms of the community give back, while it's legally questionable whether such an imposition can be made, if the commission determines that it's legal and it's appropriate, the applicant already has a proposal and is willing to commit to setting aside $100,000 to be donated to the University of Hawaii Foundation expressly for the purpose of allowing students to get scholarship in the area of marine sciences, environmental studies, geology, hydrology, so on and so forth. And that's kind of reflected in the what I had submitted earlier as far as a new condition number 12. And on that, I'll kind of defer to the commission, and whether if you wish to proceed with the approval of this with that a condition, then, and further, if you find that to be legal and appropriate, then from the applicant's standpoint, he's prepared to accept it. Other than that, I'm going to, at this point in time, turn it over to Ms. Bunn and Mr. Nance.